Hello and welcome to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. This is JB in New Orleans.
Sean Homrig from Austin, Texas. Get ready to match the stars.
Chris in Springfield, Illinois. 10 inches of bullshit.
Wow, I might have to add some dramatic echo there in post. Followed by crickets.
Kick this pig. First topic. Let's just fucking.
All right, yes, we got a lot of shit to talk about here for once. Oh my god, it's like, what are we going to talk about? And then this whole week is just like, oh fuck, all this shit. So okay, so a lot of this shit is going to be rumor and heresy or hair.
It's okay, I do it too. It's all right.
Yes, this is all heresy. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Republican Party.
Rummers
Yes,
and
it
Hershey's.
is.
Let's do it.
There's going to be the Centenary Special. I mean, a Centenary Special. And there were a bunch of rumors that were posted. This came from a Twitter post from at Dr. Whovian 63. And yeah, Jesus. So this is apparently from the same source that leaked the whole, David Tennant, Catherine Tate thing. It's going to be a 90-minute special airing on Sunday, October 16 on BBC One, and there's apparently going to be a cinema release. I don't know if it's going to be out in the United States, but
Probably not.
I very much doubt it.
I don't think the interest is here.
It's
Golly.
maybe like New York, Chicago, and LA, but like nowhere else.
Well, this is the thing. Can we put a pin in that and get back to it? I'd love to talk about that, but I don't want to eclipse the point or the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically we're going to get the big marketing blitz starting in October. Never mind that, San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend, and Chris Chibnall totally screwed the pooch as far as, promoting this thing in front of a bunch of people who might give a fuck about it, but, whatever. There's going to be a big Graham Norton appearance for Jodie, for Mandip Gill, and for Sacha Dhawan.
In the same episode or like separately?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's all together.
It should probably be the same episode. That would be wise.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have that out on YouTube the moment it's aired. It's rumored that we're going to have Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, and David Bradley in the special.
Okay.
Also rumored Katie Manning will be in this.
I had not heard that.
I've got my hand on the knob for the red chair right now. Okay. I'm looking up just like Graham does.
Yeah. And K9.
Okay, I'm pulling it down. You are tossed out of the red chair, Centenarian Doctor Who special.
Yes.
It's probably going to be for 1 second. It's not going to matter. It's harmless.
Oh yeah, he's going to be like, say some quippy line, and that'll be it. Well, I mean,
they just flashed to Sylvester McCoy like sitting somewhere in his Crocs, leaning on his cane, and he just goes "fuck you," and that's like all you get of him. That would be fucking.
No, we got to have something where he's rolling his R's. So
How about where are the hookers at?
Where are the hookers? That was awful. And then also David Tennant, for obvious reasons, is going to be in this
because he's David fucking Tennant.
Because he's David Tennant. But this is the interesting bit here. This is the thing that I laughed out loud. Apparently, the final edit is a bit of a mess, and the BBC aren't very happy with it.
It's a bit of a mess, old chap.
Yes. Just a bit. Yes.
You have to say it with your pinky out.
Oh yes, a bit. Let me hold my tea. Let me hold my cuppa. Let me get my cuppa out here.
Would you say this is a bit of a mess, old boy?
Bit of a shambles, if you ask me.
Well, wait a minute.
Bit of a dog's breakfast, if you ask me.
It's July 22nd as we record this. This is coming out in mid-October.
Yes.
Films have been edited in less time than that. So I want to know about this Twitter account because I fucking hate Twitter and I take everything with a grain of salt, and I'm just sick and tired of social justice warriors and the wokeness and are you supposed to call it wokeness anymore? Because I heard a podcast that word is not popular anymore.
Well, the whole wokeness thing has it's been kind of kidnapped by the right.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's just basically anything that's common sense now. It's like, oh, you're just too woke.
Okay.
It's been commandeered by the GOP.
So Tucker Carlson ruins something once again for everybody. Okay.
I walk into a room with it. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm a woke snowflake. Hope you're not triggered.
No, yeah. I am not a woke snowflake because although I'm
not either. But anytime me and you open our mouths about something we think, we're going to be called one.
Yeah, I guess.
That doesn't happen to you on the regular?
No, I think that people would think exactly the opposite. Like, you're so offensive. Or, I don't want to be on this podcast with you. Or, get out of my bathroom, I'm calling the police. Things like that.
And you know who you sound like, though? A woke snowflake. I'm fucking with you.
But this Twitter account, this is a lot of information. Is it an action? Did they post a link to an article?
No.
No. Okay.
No links. Just basically, like they said that this was from a source that was within the BBC and had previously leaked the fact that David and Catherine Tate were going to be appearing in the 60th.
I'm gonna call bullshit.
I gotta say, on one hand, that sounds like a credible source. You would think it's like, oh, they've been right before, but I feel like this has come up on issues before, and it seems like on the second attempt, it almost invariably fails. It seems like to me, like it's like fucking Philip Morris, for example. There was after the big fine, there was all this shit about, oh, Philip Morris has found something else.
Yeah, right. The Omni rumor.
Yeah. I
thought you were going to talk about.
What I'm saying. It's like this is kind of the new or the current Omni rumor. I guess the Omni rumor never really goes away, but this is like a little one. It's a Pico rumor. I don't know.
Yeah.
So apparently the working title, there were a couple of working titles for this last episode that we're going to see. A bit of a mess. Yeah, that should be the title. A bit of a mess. Yeah.
Doctor Who and a bit of a mess.
Yes, that's the target novelization. One of the working titles was The Children of Time. Another one was The Enemies of the Doctor, because we've thrown every fucking, Dalek, Cyberman, Master, Weeping Angels are probably in there somewhere. And then the last that this source heard was The Woman Who Fell to Time was potentially going to be used thanks to the buzz surrounding fandom, whatever the fuck that means.
I like that title.
They pulled it off someone's Twitter thread.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool title, I have to admit. I don't care if it was taken off Twitter or not. It's kind of like Space Force. Like, okay, I don't know how the fuck we're going to pay for that, but my gosh, that sounds awesome. I mean, if I could snap my fingers and have a Space Force for free.
But that makes sense. So her first episode wasn't her first episode, The Woman Who Fell to Earth?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That kind of has a little circular completion.
It has some symmetry, yeah. It's like, yeah.
Gives me a nerd boner, really. That's pretty cool. I like that.
But it's still probably going to be something like Enemies of the Doctor.
Right. The Daleks of the Enemies of the Doctor.
Yeah. Or
Day of Death. Doom stuff.
Yeah. Doom of the Doctor.
Doom of the Death.
Doom of the Death of the Doctor.
Death of the Doom of the Doctor, my son.
Terror of the Death of the Doom of the Doctor.
Yeah. Destiny of the Death of the Doom of the Doctor. Quadruple D.
The Doom of the Doctor. Invasion
this is an outgoing episode, so it's going to be Power of the Death of the Doom of the Doctor.
Yes.
Oh, this is actually an actual game we're making up now. I'm going to say Resurrection of the Death of the Doom. Oh, I missed one. I forgot. Oh.
Okay.
Day of the death of the Doom with the resurrection of the Doctor.
Yes.
Part 2.
And there's a hole in the bucket. Dear Eliza, dear Eliza.
Yeah. There is one. Okay, I can't confirm. This has been confirmed that Sigon okay, I'm going to botch this fucking name.
Spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Sigon Akinola.
Who's that?
He's the guy who composed all the music for.
Yeah. The new Gold. Okay.
Well, he's no longer going to be the new guy because he's going to be the old guy because this is going to be his last episode.
Oh.
Who is this?
Yeah,
he's the guy who composed the incidental music and the dubstep version of the Doctor Who theme.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I don't even remember his name, but
yeah, well, it took me like
that might be
3 takes to say it.
That might be a good thing, though. I don't know. I mean, unless you're like hard, unless like parsing the music of television shows is your thing, and that is some people's thing. But
well, I mean, his music was very indistinct. It was just it didn't draw attention to itself.
Which is what background music's supposed to do. It's supposed to enhance the mood, but it's not supposed to fucking jerk your attention away from what's actually happening in the scene. And it doesn't do that. I mean, he's no fucking Kath McAuliffe or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, you got it right.
He's not fucking, he's not ruining shit, and he's not doing the Murray Gold thing of, this is how you're supposed to feel in this scene. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he did his job.
Yeah, I think so too. But, I mean, a lot of people are either really happy or really angry about the idea of Murray Gold coming back.
He is?
I don't know. No, it has nothing has been said about that.
I wouldn't be upset.
I don't care. I don't care.
I feel like most of Murray Gold's crimes, based on the fact that Murray Gold was there under J&T, and was under J&T, he was not a fucking scene-stealing fucker.
Everyone take a drink, folks.
What?
You got the initials wrong again.
Oh shit!
Did you hear that, Skyler? He got the initials wrong again.
I'm just.
Was this a Muppet Show now?
Yeah.
Fucking shit. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna. Okay, from here on out, I'm just gonna call J&T A, and RTD is B.
Okay.
Much simpler. My tiny little fucking brain can handle it, so we're gonna go with that.
I just picture beard, Hawaiian shirt, and glasses, and I don't know. Yeah.
But anyways, damn it. Under B, fucking Murray Gold. Murray Gold. I did have it right. Murray Gold is chill. You get the little music and all that shit, and it's he did great. It enhanced the scene, great, but it didn't steal the fucking scene. But then under Moffat, and it's almost like Moffat went into his office. It's like, hey, Murray, I need you to do me a favor and cover up my shitty, emotionless fucking writing, because all I can do is dry wit. So could you fucking just, I don't know, fucking tell people how to feel?
You know what? I kind of agree a little bit, but I think, number one, that I think Murray Gold gets a lot of flack because it wasn't really his score for the most part, but also the sound editing sometimes made the music so loud that you couldn't hear what the characters were saying. Also,
that's not his fault. Yeah,
that's definitely not his fault. Also, I'm going to give him some flack because despite the composer that came after him, he has some really memorable scores. I mean, like movie-worthy scores.
Yeah,
okay?
I would agree. I mean, can anyone remember one note of Sigon Akinola's score for any of his episodes?
No.
Bless his heart, no. But as one of you just said, if you hear it, it's going to kind of, may ruin the story. He's not John Williams, but I think he did his job. And there's nothing like Kath McAuliffe where the music is just fucking horrible.
It was out of date even for its time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to give Murray Gold credit for one thing. It's like, as far as music that just the layperson would associate with Doctor Who, I think everybody would pretty much recognize the Doctor Who theme as the Doctor Who theme, even if they'd never seen a fucking episode in their life.
Yeah.
Second to that would probably be the 11th Doctor's theme.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think there are many people on this planet that if you played them that song, they wouldn't instantly go, oh, that's from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Also, Murray Gold has a soft space in this house because he helped Tom quit smoking.
Really?
Yeah. Tom
so?
had I think it's the 10th Doctor theme, or maybe it's the Gallifrey theme with the vocal of the lady. Ooh, ooh, bum, bum. The one from bum, bum, bum. The one where Rose went away. Rose's last episode.
Oh,
and,
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yes.
And he would listen to that music whenever he felt the need to smoke and feel really anxious. He would go outside, listen to that, and walk around because that soothed him.
Okay.
Whatever it does it for you. I'm personally myself, I would listen to something a little bit more violent, but all right.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't give a shit
Which
about
is
anything
weird,
in Doctor Who except for that little
Which
bit.
is so weird because it's Tom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't pick on your spouse.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. The news just kept coming and coming, even today here, because there was something that completely lit up the interwebs here, and actually we had a bit of a disagreement, I think, over text over this next item here.
Okay.
But it has been announced. But it's been announced that the BBC, this is according to Bloomberg, and I didn't go into their website because you have to it's under a paywall, so fuck him. I'm not going to give that fucker any more money. Fuck that guy, you know.
Yeah, fuck.
God damn it. The BBC are apparently in talks with the Disney Plus for streaming rights to the new series. The BBC are reportedly in talks with Disney Plus, which could see the streaming platform acquire streaming rights to the new series from 2023. Reports from Bloomberg claim the talks are in the early stages, therefore it is not guaranteed any deal will be reached. The deal would see Doctor Who made available worldwide on Disney Plus, whilst the BBC would still air the series in the UK. TV Zone, which reported this, has approached the BBC for comment. Disney has previously expressed its desire to bulk up on established shows and entertainment properties for its streaming service. And immediately there were a bunch of panties twisted because it's like, oh God, Disney's going to completely Americanize Doctor Who. Doctor Who's completely ruined. Where, okay, couple points. A, how is it not already ruined? And B, I am so sick of all these fucking crybabies crying about how Disney ruined Star Wars. It's like, grow the fuck up. Oh, come on. Okay.
Well, no, fair enough.
Sir.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Disney was ruined
all right.
before.
Rise of Sky.
I'm sorry, Star Wars was ruined before Disney got their hands on it.
Exactly.
But Disney didn't do it any fucking favors.
Right. Well, I mean, Rise of Skywalker, although, I mean, I've seen the movie twice, and it's just like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not highly offended by it. Yes, they probably could have done better, but whatever. It's no skin off my nose. But I mean, I enjoyed The Mandalorian. I think Book of Boba Fett was kind of flawed because I don't think Boba Fett's a really interesting character, and I think the writers are great because they, 2 out of the 6 episodes were completely devoted to The Mandalorian, which is a much more interesting character. And I did like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, yeah, there were a few things that were kind of sus, but it was. I mean, it's a way to spend a Wednesday night. Just
sure.
I think this is a non-news item. Disney just wants to stream as much shit as they possibly can. I'm sure if you looked at other,
that's obvious.
Yeah, if you looked at other shows, I mean, I'm sure they want to stream, say, for instance, Friends or Seinfeld. That obviously does not make Friends or Seinfeld a Disney property. That's my 2 cents.
They're not still making those shows, though.
That's true, but I also think at one time wasn't HBO streaming Doctor Who, or was it supposed to?
They are, yeah. Because when we were staying at the sublet and we had free access to HBO Plus, they were streaming the new series on there. Yes.
Mm-mm. But that doesn't mean that it's become an HBO property, which is kind of unlikely. I know it's less likely than Disney.
It's not going to be. I thought there's not any danger of Doctor Who being a Disney co-produced show.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to happen though. I honestly don't. I mean, unless the BBC sell it outright, and I mean, Bad Wolf basically has control over the production and the casting and everything, and the BBC basically just have like the first rights to air the shit.
First thing, everybody has their price, right?
Yeah.
Anything out there is available for sale for some price, and that price may be fucking astronomical. But here's the thing, Disney can afford that fucking price. And I'm not worried about them streaming Doctor Who. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that on the surface of it. But what I have a problem with is the fact that they're doing this means they have channels for negotiation that are operational and working favorably, which means at some point, maybe Disney starts streaming it and maybe it's kind of tanking and they decide, well, maybe if we inject a fuck ton of money and fucking make Brad Pitt the Doctor, we can turn this into a fucking winner. I don't like the channels that this deal that's happening implies are in existence and functioning and even going well. I don't like it. I'm not saying this is the end of the fucking world by any means. I'm just saying it's concerning. Because if Disney gets their hands on this shit, they will Americanize the fuck out of it because that will make more money.
Okay.
Disney always goes where the fucking money is.
Okay, you're right. So why would they pay so much money for something when it probably isn't going to have much of a return? First of all, it's streaming on their platform. Second of all,
it's already branded. Everything's fucking branding. This shit is already the fucking hard legwork behind getting Doctor Who off the ground was done 50 fucking years ago.
I think
you mean 59 years ago.
Well, yeah, 59. I was told there'd be no math on this podcast.
But if they had come in like say 2000, when did the Eccleston was 2005?
Yes.
If they had come around maybe 2007, I could see this. But this is a dead horse. It's like nobody cares anymore. If they were to make, it's not going to be Brad Pitt. It's going to be somebody else. If they were to,
I know. I'm out of date on whoever the fucking big actor is right now, so I'm just fucking reverting to.
I mean, they actually might like pull like Rogue One, where they like brought Peter Cushing back from the dead.
God help us all.
I mean, someone posted on Twitter. Someone posted. Some kid, the guy looks like he's 15 years old. Some kid did like this deep fake. Apparently, like after the last episode of Enemy of the World aired, there was a special trailer for the next story, which was Web of Fear, and Patrick Troughton was filmed and saying something about, oh yes, we're gonna have some we're gonna meet some old friends and some old enemies, and they're gonna be more scary than the last time. So if your parents need to hold your hand while you're watching it, you just let them, okay? And the audio exists, but there's no video. But this guy sort of deep faked it, and apparently they got some fat guy to act it out. And they plastered Patrick Troughton's face over it, and it really doesn't look that good. But with the Disney money, you can make that shit work.
Well, yeah.
They got some.
But do you want him to?
I don't know. I picture. I do. I don't think they're going to do that. Not with an entire show. But I picture them getting somebody like Taika Waititi Is that his name?
Yeah.
I really don't know if I'm pronouncing.
Tico Wackatitt.
That's it. The guy who did Jojo Rabbit, and he's in the fucking new Marvel movie. I don't know what he played.
Yeah, he directed the latest. Yeah, he directed the latest Thor movie, and he also played. He directed some episodes of Mandalorian, and it wasn't IG-88, but it was the same droid, the same kind of droid.
Oh yeah, right.
Have you guys watched Our Flag Means Death?
I've never heard of it.
Really? It's got Tico Wackatitt in it. He plays Blackbeard.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking awesome. It's great. I think he wrote it too, actually, now that you mention it. But yeah, I think it's a Hulu original, and it's called Our Flag Means Death. It's fucking brilliant.
Okay.
It's basically like it's a bromance, basically. It's about this guy, and he's like a little pompous fuck and rich boy. Leaves his family, decides to become a pirate, and he ends up running into Blackbeard, and they end up like having this bromance thing. And I know it sounds stupid, but it's actually fucking hilarious. It's good comedy, man.
Okay, sounds like something that would get you banned on Facebook.
Probably. Everything gets me banned on Facebook.
Okay, and then also today, and this is something I also shared with you two on Twitter. Fuck. Twitter.
And Facebook Messenger, which is really sad.
Okay,
Facebook is a bit
but at
of
least
a
I
mess.
know at least I can tell the difference between JNT and RFT or RFTD.
Bully for you, old chap. Bully for you, old chap. That shit's a bit of a mess,
FTD.
yes.
You know.
FTD. F you.
Yeah. FDS. So there's this rumor floating around that Stephen Moffat will write at least one episode for Series 14. And this made Chris cream in his pants.
It did.
It did.
Yeah. It's, I mean, think about it under B. In the previous runs, we got the Dr. Dances, the fucking Midnight in the Library, or not Midnight in the Library, the fucking Forest of the Damned.
Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead.
That's it. Silence.
Give me an A for an effort.
Of the Dead, of the Doom.
Of the
Resurrected.
Destiny.
Of the Destiny. Exactly. That one.
Yeah.
I mean, all his stories under B were why he got the job to be showrunner. And he turned out to be a shit showrunner, in my opinion, for his first season aside. But under RTD, he was actually pretty good.
Okay, I'll give you
the
that.
Dr. Dances is the episode that made me a fucking Whovian, basically.
Okay.
Oh, and Blink, there's another one. But
okay.
He was brilliant in those days.
Okay.
When he had someone to fucking look over his shoulder and be like, no, fuck Clara. You know? So
yeah, I take that. I take that with both meetings too. I mean, yeah, you can say fuck Clara as in like I don't want anything to do with her, or fuck Clara as in yeah, I totally would. You know, I've had at least 2 sex dreams about Jenna Coleman.
Here. Oh,
gross.
Oh come on. Oh come on. If she turned up in your dreams, you would not turn that shit down.
I probably wouldn't turn it down either. But I'm on Team Chris with this. I kind of agree. Except I
on the Moffat thing or the fucking Clara thing?
On the Moffat thing. Although, you know, there's nothing that, you know, a half a bottle of gin wouldn't do to me. But the Moffat thing, I totally agree. Here. I think he's right. Right. All right.
Hey, Shuffle Bumble is a bit of a fucking mess.
Here's my take on it. Okay, so if Stephen
we now present JB's take on Stephen Moffat returning.
Okay, well, this is not just about Stephen Moffat. So if he's returning, then does that mean we're also going to get Mark fucking Gatiss returning? Does that mean we're also going to get Paul Cornell returning? And
Whoa!
I hope
Nobody
we
said
get
that,
Paul
sir.
Cornell
Sir,
back.
let's not do a Clarence Thomas here and say, well, if we're going to do this, then we have to do this and this and this and this. No, sir. No, we didn't say that.
Okay, but
I want Paul Cornell back.
Oh, I don't know. Wait till we get to later on in the podcast. You're going to change your mind about Paul Cornell.
Oh no! Don't do that. God damn it! I've had so many fucking heroes ruined. Don't ruin this one.
But I mean, is there going to be any room for any new writer? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're looking at the situation like, okay, we tried the new writers for the last 3 years, and they all sucked. So why don't we just put that into capable hands? We know that they're going to like do a halfway decent job on this. And I don't know. To me, it's just really sad because it just means that they're giving up.
It smacks of let's get the band back together.
Exactly. And it's like, come on, how many bands have you seen that have gotten together like after, 10 years of touring, and were any good? And probably the answer is none. I mean,
or Foo Fighters. No, I'm kidding.
Oh boy. So next item on the agenda, Big Finish leaks. I got some Big Finish leaks here for you. 2023 and beyond Big Finish schedule has been leaked, apparently. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I did pick out some highlights for you here that we give a fuck about. Okay, first off, the Ninth Doctor Adventures. There's going to be another box set of the Ninth Doctor Adventures that it's going to be released for February 2023. And the final episode of that box set will have a post-credit lead-in to the episode Rose.
Interesting.
That's
yes.
Nice.
Eccleston is heavily considering becoming a regular contributor to Big Finish, possibly with involvement with Billy Piper. I heard Chris gasp there in exasperation. Okay.
I'm in. No, the gasp and exasperation wasn't for the fact they're doing it, but the fact that, I'm actually intrigued. I'll probably check this out.
The Seventh Doctor's box sets for 2023 is going to be focused on the Seventh Doctor's final days. And it's going to have, quote, a lot of exploration of morality. So I guess basically he's going to look back at like all the times he was like a sneaky little bastard. And it's like, oh, geez, have I the right?
So this is going to be a box set, or
it's going to be the box set.
A whole new line of audios.
Yeah, the box. It says Seventh Doctor's box sets for 2023.
I'm not going to listen to any of this.
I probably will.
Yeah, Chris will, so he can comment.
Yeah. Okay, but there's more. Oh my God, there was.
Damn
more.
them for sucking me back in.
Yeah. The War Master series will finish with Series 10.
Oh, Jesus, I am behind on that shit. I got up to like Series 4.
Okay.
It was good at the start, but it kind of just petered out for me.
Okay, well, you might want to like get back on the ship for Series 10 because it is apparently going to feature Ian McKellen reprising the role of the Great Intelligence. And Patrick Stewart is rumored to be playing a, quote, doctor-like, unquote, character.
Okay.
So alternate dimension doctor. Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Ronnie from the Sarah Jane Adventures is getting her own spinoff.
On Big Finish?
Yes, on Big Finish. And I didn't actually know this until recently that the girl who plays Ronnie from Sarah Jane is either married to or is dating Sacha Dhawan.
I'm so sorry.
I did not know that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's Sacha Dhawan?
The Master.
The Master.
Okay. Right as that rolled off my tongue.
The current Master, yes.
Yeah, okay. I realized who that was. Okay.
Yeah. Also, Sadie Miller, the daughter of Elizabeth Sladen, will be recording a Sarah Jane spinoff set between Hand of Fear and School Reunion and set in the late 1970s.
Can we just let people die already? Or let characters die? Why do they have to?
Yeah.
This is not. No. I don't know. Maybe it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen. To
I'm in that boat too, though. It's like, as much as I love, like, for example, Sarah Jane and the Brigadier, let's let them be dead.
Yeah.
Let's just, their story's done. Move the fuck on.
Yeah, but with that Disney money, they can totally bring him back.
Don't
shut up!
God damn it!
Shut up!
Okay. So, the 60th anniversary box set. This is the biggie here. Every Doctor is to be represented in this box set, including David Warner.
Big Finish keeps David Warner in a closet.
Yeah.
And, like, anytime they want, like, a big villain or a Doctor surrogate or whatever, they pull David Warner out of the closet. And he does a great fucking job of it.
Yeah.
You know, for what it fucking is.
Also David Bradley. And apparently they've got another guy who's currently playing the first Doctor in Big Finish who is not David Bradley. I guess he sounds more like William Hartnell.
Yes, he's a William Hartnell knockoff.
Okay. And we'll also feature Joe Martin, plus a cameo from Jodie Whittaker.
Interesting.
And apparently Jodie Whittaker is receptive to returning to Big Finish once she has had some time away from the character. So look for Jodie Whittaker episodes, adventures in like the next 2 or 3 years, I think.
I mean, she just had a kid and she just finished being the Doctor. So, yeah, I'm sure she's probably like, I'm going to chill for a minute.
Yeah, but maybe she'll get lured in by like the big lunch spreads that they have there at Big Finish Studios.
Right. They're legendary fucking lunches.
Mm.
When she's done, she's going to be all fat.
It's like, I don't care, I'm on audio.
I don't know. They make such a big deal about the lunches, like in the extras and shit. It's like, I swear to God, there's either it's just like a really big fucking in-joke, or there is cocaine and fucking hand jobs involved.
Oh, yes, that's very good. This reminds me of when I was a Oh,
yes. Big Finish is looking to sign Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi for cameo appearances on the 60th box set.
Of course they are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's going to advance. I mean, we didn't think Tom Baker would ever do these, and he's doing them. We didn't think that Christopher Eccleston would be doing these, and he's doing it. So it's only going to be a matter of time before Matt Smith, who apparently is suffering like severe back pain for being in this Game of Thrones knockoff show. I saw that the other day. And I think Capaldi is going to, you know, I'm getting too old for this acting, and you know, he's gonna like, you know, this Big Finish is like the easiest gig because you just go in, you read a script, you don't even have to fucking memorize it.
I'm telling you, dude, someday when we stop doing this podcast, 5 years later, all three of us are gonna get a fucking call from Nick Briggs.
I just love Doctor Who Gives a Fuck.
He's gonna
Peter
call
Capaldi.
us in to be the villains.
Yeah, because Radio Free Scar will be too fucking busy to do it.
Peter Capaldi will do it in 2 heartbeats, which means not right away. But I don't see Matt Smith doing it anytime soon because he has work. And he's been more or less working since he was in Doctor Who. He's in a movie that I saw a preview for when we went to go see Downton Abbey. A movie with where somebody runs over like a Bedouin kid or something, and Matt Smith is like...
Apparently he's hurt or something. This is a job he can do laid up in bed just shouting fucking Geronimo into his smartphone.
I guess. Back pain is temporary. I mean, I know it'll come back when he's like in his 60s, but...
Oh. Sir.
No, I know. It'll get better.
Not fucking temporary.
I know. It comes back for me like every other month. Like for 2 days, I'm in like really bad pain. And people are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just, But
I'm just told, fuck off.
I'm going to throw a china plate with ketchup on the wall because you said. No, it's it doesn't mean he can't work. I mean,
he just can't genuflect, the way he used to when he was like doing his big scenes.
Yeah, the drunken giraffe, as somebody called it. I don't remember who it was that said that, but
yeah, I remember that quote. And finally, Tom Baker has recorded up to 2027. And they have begun recordings for 2028 with scripts for 2029 and 2030 in various stages.
Jesus
it's
Christ!
So dark that they're even tracking that, though.
We're getting them all in like now before he dies.
Exactly. It's like they're letting us all know. It's like, hey, if Tom Baker drops dead tomorrow, we've got you covered for 5 fucking years, bro. Cool. I mean, that's pretty much literally what they're doing.
And he probably knows that, and he's probably thrilled.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
He's probably pre-recorded something for them to put on the next story after his death. Hello, my dears. I have just died, so I hope you enjoy the rest of Big
Right?
Why would be adored?
This is Tom Baker. I've been dead for 5 years now, and I fucked your mum.
And you always get a big finish with Big Finish.
And you'll always get a big finish with your mum.
Isn't it? You always get more with big... No, subscribers get... They don't say that anymore.
Cut the lunch. And if you stay for the lunch, you get a rail and a hand job.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this reminds me of Lala. So
too soon, sir. Too soon.
By the way, I almost said marry Tam, and then I remembered he didn't marry her, and then I remembered, wait, she's dead. That would be in bad taste. But oh well. Yeah. Big shout out to our friend Robert O'Shea. I'm sorry.
Robert O'Shea.
You're not JB. I just have to bring this up, and I have to.
Yes.
He DM'd me, and I bring it up now because I didn't respond to his DMs because I was, I don't know, drunk maybe. I don't know. He sent me a picture of John Levine, and then he sent me a picture of John Levine behind Fraser Hines, wielding a banana as if to stab him, and there is a grimace on John Levine's face that is just fucking scary. Like Poltergeist with the clown scary. No, Poltergeist in the part where the guy tears his face off scary. And then he said, what if you woke up to that in your bed?
I want to see this picture.
Okay, I'll
can you? You or the blessed O'Shea send this to me?
Yeah, we may actually make that the image for this podcast episode.
Oh no, I'll send it to you, boys. We don't have to have the blessed O'Shea send it.
Yes. Okay, so now's the part where I ruined Chris's life here, and
fuck.
Okay, so
done.
Okay, so a few podcast episodes back, this was around the time of Gallifrey, and we had another friend of the podcast, Leland, was tweeting all about Gallifrey, and he was saying about how all the supposed love for the Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker era was basically not really happening, and a lot of people were being very critical of the Jodie era, especially with Flux. Flux was just, kind of really downplayed. And he actually got a response via Twitter from Paul Cornell, who basically gaslighted him and said, and he said something to the effect of, those were just the panels in your head, mate. So,
was it? Are you? Don't like that. Don't like that.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm sorry. Repeat what Leland said again. I'm so sorry.
Something about. I mean, you can actually go back to the episode. It's the episode that came out in February, of our podcast. Basically something of the effect of, I don't know, I don't have it right now, but basically saying that there's been some the panels, some of the panels at Gallifrey have been critical of the traditional Jodie Whittaker era, especially with Lux.
I missed the word critical. I'm so sorry. I thought that you meant the exact opposite.
And basically, Paul Cornell gaslighted this guy on Twitter. So this is something else I found on Twitter. This was courtesy of a Twitter account that I just recently followed called Crazy Ass Moments in Doctor Who History. And this person posted an excerpt from a 2002 interview with Lawrence Miles.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Heard him.
Yeah, and I'm going to post a link to the full interview, but this is what I wanted to extract from that interview. The interviewer asked Lawrence Miles, the question. Paul Cornell's criticism of you was that you had broken the Doctor Who writers' code by criticizing other writers. Fair, do you think? And Lawrence Miles answers. He says, fair, but I don't remember signing any official agreement when Virgin signed me up. Nobody told me about this code. The thing is, I've got a reputation as one of the most arrogant people in the whole of fandom. And it's kind of funny. If you want to know what arrogant means, my God, you make a criticism of Gary Russell or Paul Cornell or someone, they never forget and they never forgive you for it. The word bitch isn't big enough for what these people do. And you should hear the abuse I've had over the last couple of years, but unlike 90% of the other writers, it doesn't really bother me. I still hang around with people who've been completely insulting. The problem is I don't have a sense of diplomacy. That's all. I don't have any tact. It sounds like you would get along great with this guy.
Me?
The other, all of us.
I probably would.
The other writers bitch about each other behind their backs, whereas I just come out and say what I think. That's the problem Paul has with me, I think. Oh, and I don't have tits. So
and
this
then dropped the fucking mic.
And this actually raised the eyebrow of the interviewer, and he's like, "Can you please elaborate on that?" So he says, "I've tried to be nice to him. I've always tried, but if he can't shag you, he's just not interested."
Oh my God. Okay, Lawrence, I think you've gone too far.
The only surefire way to get on that man's good side is by having double X chromosomes.
Ooh.
He's never had any patience with me at all. That was the really funny thing about that interview he did, where he started slagging me off. He said that the politics and interference reminded him of a 17-year-old virgin. It's fun. I know Chris is laughing because he probably has read this book. So
I've read it. Yeah.
I've read it.
Okay. So
two books actually.
There's two.
It was just so telling because what he's actually saying there when it comes down to is I'm wiser than you are because I've shagged more birds. I mean, fair enough. He probably has had sex with more people than I'll ever have. His exploits are far more legendary than mine. I just thought that it was very funny attitude coming from someone who calls me a misogynist. And the interview asks him, why does he think you're a misogynist? And the answer is because of my fanzine, the one that I give out at the tavern. And I don't think he meant the Tarvis Tavern, by the way.
No.
I kept taking the piss out of Kate Orman. So in Shagger Cornell's world, that means I hate women. It's the way things work on his planet. All right, let's get down to basics here. We're talking about a man who spends his life acting like a caring, sharing new man just so he can get into the pants of as many women as possible. And this isn't me being bitter. Some of Paul's old friends told me about this even before I met the man. In a court of law, the character witnesses would be lined up around the building 3 deep. And I'm a misogynist for having a go at Kate Orman? This is getting really personal now, isn't it? Maybe we should go back to focusing on crotons.
I've read this interview a long time ago. I don't remember where. I don't remember where I read it. but it's somewhere on the internet. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm going to post a link to it on the show notes.
And this is why he's not writing any Doctor Who right now, to be fair. But okay. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm going to take out everything he said about Paul Cornell shagging people or shagging girls, because I think that, if you can, you should shag as many girls as you want. I kind of have a problem with you doing it on, the platform that you are a Doctor Who writer. I think that's kind of gross. I actually agree with him in regards to if you criticize it, you will be ostracized, because it's kind of like that with the Doctor Who podcasting too.
And that's the thing, is Paul Cornell is chums with the Verity crowd, with the Radio Free Skaro crowd, with the Reality Bomb crowd. And we've certainly faced their wrath. So it just I just found it very funny that we'll get to it when I read the massive review someone tried to leave us here.
There is and I'm stealing this from Josh, by the way. Josh brought this up. There is a very good documentary night. Don't ask me the name of it. Just, you can Google this documentary about flat earthers. And they have their beliefs, and they have their clubs and all that. And if you don't believe that there is a flat earth, then you are not just one of them with a capital T. Mm-hmm. Their group is very much like the flat earthers. Tribalism is very important. They don't really believe in religion. So this is their religion. This is what they believe in. They believe in their tribe. And I'm not saying that they believe in Doctor Who, although they do. I'm just saying that it's more, I think for at least it was, a few years ago, being in this group is more important for them than the show itself and ostracizing people for various reasons.
Gatekeeping, if you will.
And the gatekeeping, yes. And there is some hypocrisy here, because I'm sure that they will turn a blind eye if you put this in front of them. Say, hey, Lawrence Miles said this in an interview. They'll be like, well, Lawrence Miles isn't a huge fan of Moffat, so I'm not going to listen to what he says. It's just like somebody now saying, well, he's not a Christian, so what he thinks doesn't matter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lawrence Miles, that's good reason not to be a Moffat fan, though. I think Moffat ripped him off quite a fucking bit.
Yeah.
But I
way,
said it. But
Interference parts 1 and 2 are awesome, by the way. And so there was the other
agreed.
One. Fuck. What was the one with the Doctor's body? Help me, Chris.
Oh, shit. I know the one where the Third Doctor and Sarah go to the moon to bury Laika.
Yeah, that's the prologue. And then
Alien Bodies.
Alien Bodies, yes.
That is a great fucking book. That is a great fucking book.
It's awesome. Yeah. And I remember when we did it on the Doctor Who fan club, I swear, and I read this interview before the Doctor Who fan club, and I think that Eric knew about it because I didn't talk to him about it, if memory serves, but he did not like these books as much as I did, probably because he knew about this interview and what Lawrence Miles said about his good friend Paul Cornell. All right? That's what I think. Anyway, okay, I'm done.
I gotta say, with the pissing contest between Miles and Cornell, to summarize it, I would say my opinion is the meme of Michael Jackson in Thriller eating popcorn. I very much enjoy a lot of shit that both of these guys wrote. And I'm under no delusions that either one of them are good people.
Right.
But the shit they've done within the scope of Doctor Who continuity fandom, or I shouldn't even say fandom, just the stories they've brought to Doctor Who. Paul Cornell, I mean, he did the Children of the Corn shit. Fuck, what was the 7th Doctor episode that got made into a 10th Doctor episode?
Human Nature, Family of Blood.
Human Nature. That is a fucking great story. Interference was fucking great. Alien Bodies was great. These guys have wrote some of the fucking greatest stories in off-canon Doctor Who. Both of them have, and they both had it. I mean, if you're into off-canon Doctor Who, these guys are big fucking fish. And like I said, I'm under no delusions that either one of them are good people. I mean, all evidence points to both of them on some level are pieces of shit. Fuck it, I don't care. What they did for fucking Doctor Who, I appreciate it. Paul Cornell, probably a little more, because Human Nature is, I would say, probably my favorite Doctor Who novel. That book is so fucking good. And the episode they made of it doesn't do it justice, but it's still really fucking good. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And Lawrence Miles, I seriously, anybody who's read the shit that Lawrence Miles wrote back in the 90s and early 2000s and shit, and watched Moffat, there is absolutely no fucking way Moffat was not borrowing ideas from him. In some cases, on a very big fucking scale.
I remember you saying this on social media at the time. Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate what both these men have done within the scope of the lore of Doctor Who. Yeah, they're probably pieces of shit in their personal life, but you know what? So the fuck am I.
Yeah. We're not, none of us are squeaky clean.
Yeah, but no one gives a fuck about us enough to look up our fucking personal lives, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about.
Sometimes I pet my cat the wrong fucking way.
One time the other day, I stepped on my cat's tail. And
I'm sure you didn't mean to.
No, of course not.
No, doesn't matter.
You know when you do this, though, and they're like, "Meow," and they look at you and like, I'm so sorry. You're like when Gene Wilder is found with a dead body in Silver Streak. No, it wasn't me. Wait, no. And they're like, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But, okay, I'm going to agree with the Michael Jackson meme. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I just wanted to make that joke.
I just wanted to, just in light, I probably wouldn't even brought it up, but in light of the fact that, I actually witnessed Paul Cornell gaslighting a friend of the podcast like that. I just that really just speaks to the guy's character. And it's just like, my respect for him is just non-existent now. And
I do have to agree with that with one possible a caveat. I think that maybe if he and Leland were Twitter buds and they went back and forth like that in the past, no problem. It's fine. But I think that it's sycophantic. It's like, oh, I have to defend the show. That's a piece of crap because it might ensure that I get a future job.
Right. And it's also going to win me brownie points with the RFS and Verity crowd.
I don't think he really needs to get brownie points from them. I think they need brownie points from him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think it's kind of
fair.
Mutual masturbation society.
Yeah. It used to be mutual masturbation, but now it's kind of gone on to
Big Finish lunch.
Yeah,
a rail and a hand job.
No, it's literally Big Finish, which Radio Free Skaro has ostracized itself from, and that may be the only future of Radio Free Skaro.
Wait, hold on, back up there. How did that happen?
Because Szczepanski refused to listen to any Big Finish for the longest time. He just couldn't stand it. It's not because he didn't like the stories, but he just couldn't do the whole audio drama thing. And the other two, the other two just have never been into it that I know of. However, Verity, they're all into it. But
okay. Because didn't RFS get like an exclusive with Big Finish a few years ago?
I don't know, but if you think about it, if Big Finish was going to do a podcast or, is going to be featured in a podcast and they had their own pick, wouldn't you pick Big Finish to get the word out about your own work?
No, I'd pick Doctor Who Gives a Fuck.
Actually, if I were them, I probably would have picked Verity, but whatever. That's why I'm not in business.
Because all of those podcasters have double X chromosomes.
Oh, and also that thing about I don't have tits that he said. I don't understand. Does that mean that I think it means
basically, I think he just means that he dismissed him completely because he's not a woman. He can't shag this person. So it's like your opinion doesn't matter because I can't get into your pants.
I don't have tits. Paul Cornell wouldn't fuck me.
Okay.
I'm okay with that though.
A long time ago, and I don't mean like ages ago. I mean like TARDIS Tavern days. Lawrence Miles had a web page, and it looked like very 90s. You ever see these web pages like this?
Oh yeah,
I think I've seen
Times New Roman fonts and
it was nothing but memes that he made up, casting vitriol against the Moffat era. It was so Moffat hating, I was uncomfortable. Like, wow. Dude, I think you need to take a Xanax and have a Chardonnay because you are taking this way too personally. Don't you have a hobby? Do you play Warhammer or something?
Look at it from his point of view, though. He's kind of outside of Doctor Who circles, and even within Doctor Who circles, most people don't know who the fuck Lawrence Miles is.
Oh, of course not.
No. A whole fucking lot of people know who Stephen Moffat is.
Oh yeah.
And I'll give Lawrence Miles this. Moffat straight up stole some fucking ideas from him. He borrowed, stole, copied, fucking homaged, or what the fuck ever you want to call it.
Plagiarized, I think is
plagiarized would, in my opinion, probably not be a terrible fucking word to use to describe it, but I can get it. Lawrence Miles is not a fucking famous person, but an awful lot of his fucking ideas and shit that he wrote back in the 90s and early 2000s popped up very prominently in shit that Stephen Moffat wrote. And I can fully appreciate why the man's bitter about that. Okay. I mean, granted, I will concede that in most cases it's arguable, but there's just, the shit with River Song falling into the TARDIS and falling into a pool, that kind of shit.
Oh, yes, that's right.
There's other fucking things, a whole fucking ton of things. And we all know for a fucking fact that fucking Moffat was into the novels. Moffat has read fucking Lawrence Miles. There is no way that Moffat is not aware of who the fuck Lawrence Miles is and the shit that he fucking wrote. And here's all this shit that he's prominently taking credit for being such a fucking genius Doctor Who writer that it's kind of like, Lawrence has a point. He thought of this shit first. The opportunity, the motive, and the fucking profit are all fucking there. That, or whatever the fucking three tenets of committing a crime are, or whatever, but they're all fucking there. We can argue on the degree to which he borrowed from Lawrence Miles, but I think it's pretty obvious to some degree he did. And Lawrence Miles didn't get even recognition for this, let alone money. I can totally understand how he's a little bitter for that. And maybe Paul Cornell, by virtue of having at least one of his stories directly translated into fucking New Who, and he got a credit for it.
Well, he wrote it. He basically wrote that story. He adapted his own story.
Kind of what I'm arguing is, they might not have necessarily borrowed an entire story from Lawrence Miles, but they certainly grabbed onto a few of his fucking ideas and ran with it and made a lot of fucking money for it. Paul Cornell got some money for that shit. Lawrence Miles didn't get shit. So I can understand he's a little bitter about it. Okay. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of defending Lawrence Miles here, and I'm not defending the fact that he's not a piece of shit, or that Paul Cornell's not a piece of shit. They're probably both fucking horrible people. I don't fucking know. I get it. I'm just going to eat my goddamn popcorn, I guess.
Is there another piece of news?
All I have left is this massive review that one of our listeners left us here. and which I would like to share with the rest of you listeners here. This is probably the best review we're ever going to get. And it's really kind of sad because he tried, and he'll get into this, but he actually tried to get this posted on the Apple Podcast, and he for some reason he just couldn't get it done. So I actually tried to post it in his place, and it not only did not take. It actually subtracted the number of reviews this podcast has and lowered our score.
They're all against us.
Yes.
We're never going to work in Hollywood again.
But I'm not going to give the guy's name because he has to be anonymous. But he was actually someone who was a listener of Who 37 and is familiar with the Doctor Who podcasting world. So he wrote to us here. He says, and I might have to add some dramatic echo and maybe some dramatic music to the back of this too. I don't know. After the great rise of Doctor Who podcasts in the 2000s, the world became flooded with options. Unfortunately, over time, what was left were either so poorly produced that misophonics, and I'm not convinced that's actually a word there, would cast them into the fire, or were so delusional in their positive attitude about the show that non-sociopaths would cast them into the fire. Admittedly, Doctor Who Gives a Fuck is a drunken podcast, which is often more of a bug than a feature. However, it works in this case, as the tone of the podcast is a coarse, elegiac screed.
Who the fuck is this?
What the hell does that mean?
Hold on. Let me look those up here.
I needed. I don't even know if that's an insult or a fucking compliment. Elegiac Screed.
Before I feel like I'm being talked over.
Yeah,
I picture an English guy with a quill pen. I will not listen to such filth.
Okay, elegiac.
It's a bit of a mess.
Okay, relating to or characteristic of an allergy.
Or an elegy?
An elegy, E-L-E-G-Y.
Eulogy?
Okay.
Eulogy. Or hold on, what is elegy, huh? G-Y. What does that mean? Hold on.
That's like a...
we're dumb American fuckers. Okay, elegy, a poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead.
Okay.
That's
all right.
I said, God damn it.
Okay, we're not all illegitimate fucks here. Okay, so Screed. Meaning. Okay, so Screed. Okay. Like a long speech or piece of writing, typically one regarded as tedious.
Oh, so it's a dig. All right.
Maybe.
All right.
Say the sentence again so we know it in context.
Okay.
He's taking notes right now. Listening to this. Listening to us baboons. Right. Figure this out. Like,
these fucking Americans.
All right.
The farce is upon them.
However it works in this case, as the tone of the podcast is a coarse, elegiac screed. It's truth in advertising with the subtitle for the end times.
Okay.
Crude humor is used to buffer souls, ours and theirs, from the rapid and increasing failings of the modern socio-political sphere.
Oh my God. This fucker wrote this shit with the source. Sorry.
And no, the preceding test is not sarcastic or hyperbole. I think Chris would differ there, but let's move on. It's strange. It's strange that in context of seemingly hundreds of Doctor Who podcasts that all claim to be ethical, this is the only one that actually has any solid grasp of progressive thought.
Thank you.
Yes.
I thought he was digging on us.
No, this is a positive review, I swear.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Instead, most other popular Doctor Who podcasts offer the delusional intersection of corporate lust masked by the misuse of identity politics.
Yes.
If it is this issue where the likes of Radio Free Skaro fail so miserably, as they have demonstrated for nearly a decade of being seemingly incapable of both authentic, artistic, or ethical critique.
Hear, hear.
And so now we see the wasteland of Doctor Who podcasts is filled with smug grotesquerie. Again, I'm not convinced that's actually a word there, but let's move on. Fully grown adults providing cultish apologetics for a modern TV show that is fine for preteens, okay for Tumblr adults, but deserves far, far more ethical and technical criticism than it receives. Most healthy fans of Classic Who understand its target audience, recognize that it's a mess, and appreciate trawling the details of that morass. For some reason, Doctor Who Gives a Fuck is one of the very few Doctor Who podcasts remaining that doesn't gaslight the listener. They are not saints, and they can be offensive, cantankerous, and crude, but they have an ethical anchor and are honest, including space for self-critique.
Yeah. I haven't farted this entire episode. Just wanted to note that.
Okay. The hosts include J.B. Anderton from Who 37, who is the acerbic and cynical driving force of the show. He does a great job keeping the pace up when needed and provides a very reactive and refreshing political edge in the proceedings. While I don't have the same appreciation of the genre, it has been good to hear him openly defend his love of progressive rock in the depressing and hostile world of Doctor Who fandom for almost a decade. There's no sarcasm. I salute you for that, JB. Well, yeah, I'm going to fly the flag of progressive rock till the day I die.
As
Chris,
you should.
Yes. Chris Buchanan from Dirty Whoers, among others. What other podcasts is it referring to here? Have you been doing other podcasts, Chris, behind our backs here?
No, not as a regular, but I've appeared on some.
Okay.
Most of them were Sean's. The other one was fucking not Radio Free Scarrow. I've never been on that, and nor would I. No, who are the crazy fucks in
Pharaoh's Project?
No, not Pharaoh's Project. Never mind. Go on.
Okay. Chris Buchanan is the genial and relaxed yin to JB's more caustic and energetic yang. While they all have a good sense of humor, Chris is probably the most likely to throw in one-liners and self-depreciating bits to keep things balanced and moving steady. He is generally a bit more positive about the show, but does not excuse the legit problems.
Thank you, sir.
Sean Hombrick from the TARDIS Tavern, among many others, is the wild card. Flitting between drunken stupors to very entertaining manic ramblings on the show, harrowing restaurant experiences, etc. These latter orations are often fueled by the alcohol as well. Sean keeps the Doctor Who Gives a Fuck brand safe and has been a pleasant presence in the podcast scene for years.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Pleasant podcasting throughout the years. That's very nice. Yeah. And you know what, by the way, I think these two are more drunk than I am right now.
I just want to go on record as saying if you don't love it, anybody out there who doesn't love Sean, fuck you.
Yeah, come on. How can you not?
In some,
all three hosts' personalities complement each other well. I look forward to each episode and usually enjoy the bizarre conversational tangents more than the Doctor Who content. I think you can say that more about the Cabot Cove podcast than our podcast, but I digress. The tone of the conversation is sloppy, as is a drunken podcast, but JB does a great job editing the show so it never becomes too unintentionally unpleasant. Thank you, Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, for all your efforts. Well, thank you, mysterious person. And for your information, a closing message to the kind host. Not everyone is a rich yuppie like you, and they cannot afford Apple products. I eventually learned that in order to review this podcast, I had to download iTunes for Windows. Yes, it still exists. And then give them my credit card. After I first posted this review, it never showed up because my Apple account was too old or something, and I had to create a new account, which iTunes rejected 5 times until I rebooted my PC. Then it would still not accept the review. So I ended up emailing my review to someone else who had an Apple product. That was me. You bet that after going through all of that, I'm going to leave a long, rambling review. The lack of reviews isn't because you aren't loved. It's because that we are too poor, exhausted, and generally miserable as the world around us continues to collapse.
That's because they're poor. Because they're paying for all the student loans, apparently, based on how eloquent the writing is. But, yeah, thank you. Very nice review.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry for my early defensiveness.
And you read part of this before to us, I think, JB.
I think I actually sent it to you. I emailed this to you.
I can't read.
I don't remember. Yeah, I can't. I can barely remember to put pants on. No, seriously. I went to a job interview a couple weeks ago. It was going fairly well. And we were talking about going to court.
You didn't have pants on.
No, that would be really great. Shit, I don't have pants. What am I going to do with my pants? And I told them, I said, I have worn, I'm afraid we had some downtime. We were talking, I'm afraid that this jacket is very frayed because I've worn it in front of the screen. But these pants, this is the first time in 2 years I've worn these pants. And I raised my head, that's probably why I didn't get the job. But I'm so sorry, JB. I'm overshadowing. I'm just.
No, that's all right. But thank you, mysterious person who I will not name, mainly because I can't remember it right now because I'm drunk. For these glowing words, and I posted it on our socials, and I think I've turned the corner when it comes to reviews on Apple Podcast. It just doesn't really matter. I mean, we're reaching an audience. We're reaching our people. The people who get this show are listening to this show, and we get a healthy amount of downloads per month. I don't care about. I mean, we're not making money off this fucking show.
None of us are in this as a career. This is something we do for fun.
Yeah, we do this more for ourselves than anything else, and it's really gratifying to know that you are out there listening and you like us, and we really appreciate that. And it's just, I just feel kind of humbled that we're sort of cited as one of the only Doctor Who podcasts that are out there that actually know what the fuck they're doing.
I do appreciate that remark about the corporate whatever with the other Doctor Who podcasts. Anyway, let's stop sucking each other's dicks for a moment. I want to go. Do you have anything else, JB?
That's all I have.
Okay. I just
the floor is open.
I was just here for the blowjobs.
Oh, well, you won't be. Never mind. A while back, as in the beginning of this podcast, JB, you were talking about the septennial. I've said the sextennial. It's sextennial, isn't it? The 60th. Centennial
is 100. CENT 100.
No, I'm saying sextennial.
Sextennial. Okay, that's the 60th. The 60th. Yeah. That's next year. Yes.
But nobody wants to say sextennial. SEX.
Because you're gonna get canceled for saying that shit.
Yeah, because people don't think. Anyway, the sextennial. I'm just gonna fucking say it's sextennial. Because we're probably not going to be around for the centennial.
You brave motherfucker.
Oh, don't fucking depress me like that, man. Just,
I'm sorry, sir. We will be around.
Month. Jesus, fuck, man.
We'll be in the home like Edwina and Patsy on the machines.
We're not that old. Come on, it's just a year away. It's just a year and a couple months away. And there might be a bunch of shit that happens before then, but I
won't be. We won't be around for the centennial.
Oh,
that's the 100th. Sextennial, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. No one's going to be around for the of the actual show.
Again, I was told there'd be no math.
Do you know? For someone who bitches about Stephen Moffat stealing Lawrence Miles' material, Jamie, what? He stole that from old Saturday Night Live.
I did,
but I appreciate it.
I did. I have no idea what I said.
No. I'm telling you, JB, he stole that from Saturday Night Live. Old, like Chevy Chase.
I did.
Yeah, that's a joke from Saturday. Remember when? I mean, I don't remember this, but I've seen it when Chevy Chase used to do Gerald Ford, and he's in a press conference, and there's a reporter who says, "Sir, I want to know about the deficit and 10% of that," and he's the camera just zooms in on him, like making like this face, and it starts to get more and more panicked, and as this reporter is like shouting out, numbers to him, and then he stops and he goes, I was told there would be no math. You've never seen this, sir?
I was not intentionally stealing that.
Maybe it was a subconscious steal.
I have forgotten a lot of shit. Okay. I'm an old man, and I'm a little bit drunk.
So I want to go back to something JB said. You poo-pooed the idea of the sextennial being in theaters.
Yes.
So, and you said not enough people would go to see it. Now, this in a way started a 5-minute argument in my household. Okay. And I have to thank Steve for this. You guys watch Stranger Things?
Oh, yeah. We watched the latest series
I've not seen it yet. No spoilers.
Okay. So the last episode of Stranger Things on Netflix is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, we had to watch it in like 2 sittings because we couldn't just do it all in one.
And Steve made a very good point. He said they could have made more money if they would have released it theatrically, like a week before it came out on Netflix. And I thought, my God, that's genius.
You mean just the last episode?
Just the last episode.
Okay.
And I brought this up to Tom, and Tom said, people aren't going to pay money. They don't even want to pay money to see the movie that are out. Yeah. And I'm no, sir, no, you do not understand. And I tried to explain to him back in 2013 at the 50th. What is that? That's not the sextennial. Is that the?
That was the fufftennial.
Fufftennial.
Fufftennial. Let's go with it. Let's roll with fufftennial.
I went to go see it in the theater in Dallas, Texas, and the theater was completely packed. And it was so packed, it was so popular that they had a host that came up on stage before the film started and asked, like, who was your first doctor? And I remember, this isn't really having anything. There was one old guy that stood up and said, I remember when the first doctor, I'm old enough to remember him. I think that the show is popular enough that if you have screenings here and there throughout the country, not just Chicago, LA, and New York, but Dallas, Texas, maybe Austin, that you will, one theater in Austin, that you will have a packed theater for that. Because I truly think that people do want to spend money to see this. And they can watch it at home. And, they can wait a day and watch it at home. But why not when you can see it in a theater with 200 other fans? Just going to say that. But Tom doesn't understand this. Just saying. He doesn't understand this, so don't try to explain it to him. Because he isn't a fan of anything. Although I'm sure if they had the Plant show from like fucking Chelsea or something on the big screen, he'd go see that shit. But all right.
Okay. It really changes the experience when you know you're in a friendly crowd. Like everybody is fucking digging the same vibes you are. They're going to cheer at the same fucking stupid, offhanded fucking callback or whatever. And they're going to get it. It really does enhance the experience.
I remember, Chris, you and I had a chance to see Heaven Sent in a hotel, not a hotel room, but like the big convention room at Chicago TARDIS.
Yes.
And we ended up being too long at the nearby restaurant, and we completely missed it. And it was late. And I was like, I got to get home. And you had to drive all the way back to Springfield. Mm. But we could have watched Heaven Sent in a room full of 200 people. And we kind of missed. I mean, I kind of regret doing that. But I think.
Yeah.
I think that you would have to right now. You would have to, if you were going to do that at a convention and you were going to like show the debut of this Centennial episode, Jodie Whittaker's last episode, you would have to do it in 2 rooms. One for the Jodie bots and the other room for the NMDs.
Wait, what's an MND?
And not my doctors.
Okay. Yeah.
NMD.
Yeah, NMDs.
I
Yes.
thought that might be a drug, but okay.
Well, it could be a drug.
I involved it. I don't feel like I belong to either one of those crowds.
So I guess you would have to have a third room.
Yeah.
For those who don't really give a fuck.
I do give a fuck, but I'm not going to judge Jodie for being a female doctor, and at the same time, I'm not going to apologize for her for being a female doctor. I just want to watch.
No, I mean, NMDs
goddamn
are just
Doctor Who.
I think the NMDs. I mean, I'm using it as sort of like a catch-all for people who are just bitching about how bad the series is, and this is like, yeah, I mean,
it's not her fault though.
It's not her fault, and I think our criticism, for the most part, has been constructive. But there are like people who just don't like anything. They just have no joy in their lives. They make a living spouting out their hatred on YouTube, and it's just like, why? I just don't understand the motivations of some of these people, like Clownfish TV. I don't know if you've ever seen like Clownfish TV or who's the guy? The guy, he looks like a goat boy.
Ted Cruz?
No, he's a guy. He's a guy on YouTube. He's like he's got like the long sort of goat. I can't think of his name right now, but I mean, and they're practically like alt-right Nazis.
I don't even pay those guys any attention.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Okay.
I heard a
podcast
Nerdrotic.
About this guy. His name is he goes by Nerdrotic.
I think that's it. Yes.
And just completely, it's sad to say. I just like, my God. I mean, you don't like anything. I mean, why the fuck do you even have a YouTube channel? Why the fuck? If you can't derive any joy,
I know what you're talking about, and it puzzles me. But there are other channels that are not about TV shows. I found a channel called Hiding in My Room, which is this guy that just bitches about his life on the camera, and he has thousands of followers. He has so many followers that he sells merch on YouTube. And I'm watching this. I don't know how I came upon it. It might be because he's pleasant on the eyes. But I'm like, this is unwatchable. And he has live streams that are like 3.5 hours long. And there's people sitting there typing to him. And I think they're just feeding his appetite for attention.
Yeah. It's really kind of fucked up. Yeah.
It is really fucked up. I mean, and I'm going to admit, I've got 3-4 podcasts, I think. I don't know. Depends on, I don't feel like I have this podcast. I don't do any work for this podcast. I just show this the fuck up. But the other podcasts, I at least watch a 45-minute show. Well, no, I've done that for this podcast too. Also, I edit the other podcasts, which I despise a lot more than JB does, apparently, because you'll have this out within 24 hours. But
he'll have this out 10 minutes
I'm just
later.
Like, I'm just built that way. I don't know. I just really got into audio editing. I've always, that's just kind of like I feel like that's probably the main contribution that I have, aside from keeping you two on topic.
But, the thing is that if we didn't enjoy that attention a little bit, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
Exactly.
And I feel the same way. I don't really go on Twitter. I mostly do Facebook, and there's somebody that I know that just posts about his health problems. It's like, could you watch a movie or show a cat pic? I know you have a cat. Why are you always telling us about your health problems?
I know who you're talking about.
I don't think so, because I don't think this person is a friend of yours.
Currently.
Really? Are you sure?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. But
I think I know who this is.
But I just feel that why do you enjoy the attention from your negativity, from hating everything, whether it be yourself or whether it be movies and TV? I just don't understand that. And I have known maybe 2 people in my whole life that absolutely refuse to like anything popular. You know, like, how can you not like the movie Titanic? Well, Chris, maybe you don't like the movie Titanic.
No, I don't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But there's people.
Because of the math involved. The gal was floating on, and Leonardo DiCaprio could have got on that fucking thing. But anyways.
Whatever. But, you know, whether you enjoy romances or whether you enjoy, like, action, there's stuff in there for everyone. You know?
I mean, there's a big difference between it's just not my thing and, oh, my God, this is completely garbage, and these are, like, the 12 reasons why I think this is garbage and you should think this too.
Yeah, no.
Stop liking things I don't like.
It's totally okay to not have an opinion on something. That's a legit stance is, I don't care what you like. That's not a thing I like. Fucking whatever.
I don't. It's hard for me to understand why somebody enjoys getting attention from spewing bile on any social platform media, but YouTube is especially egregious because they can see you. You're a little bit less anonymous than you are, say, on Twitter. A lot of the stuff that we see is not necessarily positive about Doctor Who, but thus the name of the podcast.
Right. I mean, I think we're not. I mean, I don't think we're malicious or malevolent at all. I think we just kind of we shoot our mouths off a bit.
Yeah.
But I think
it's more
pretty open.
We are very open.
We're always open to good shit about Doctor Who. I think all three of us can say unequivocally we love Doctor Who.
Yeah. I mean,
we might differ on our fucking opinions of what it should or should not be, but
yeah, and we can all disagree and still have still make a conversation and make a damn interesting podcast out of it. And I mean, certainly my expectations of the show have lowered significantly, but I still go back, because it's like, there could be something there might be like one moment from an episode that I think, hey, you know what, I really kind of dug that. And the rest of it complete nonsense. But I enjoy discussing the show more than I do than watching it lately. And maybe it'll change once we go back to Russell T Davies. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, I'm very intrigued. I am looking forward for us to do our eventual podcast review / commentary of the upcoming episode, which is apparently a bit of a mess, according to the BBC.
A bit of a mess. Just a bit of a mess.
Yeah, actually, the guy who submitted the review, because I said that if you did a review and we liked it, that I'll give you then I'll make a drawing for you. He actually suggested that I do him a drawing, sort of like a cartoon of like the three of us sitting down watching Kill the Moon.
I would like a copy of that too.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
we have to have a copy of it.
Yeah,
make this good looking, and don't make us fat.
Well, I actually thought about like drawing us like the South Park kids sitting on the couch.
Okay,
with our mouths wide open. I don't know. I haven't really gotten around to it because I've just been busy with other things. But add that to the list.
You have been listening to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. You can stream or subscribe to this human filth on Apple Podcasts or wherever the fuck you listen to your favorite podcasts. And for fuck's sake, leave a fucking review on Apple fucking Podcast. Don't be a cuck. Tell us why we suck. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter until some maniacal multi-millionaire buys those companies in their quest for world domination. And then you're all fucked. Doctor Who and all related characters and situations are trademarks of the BBC, and no infringement is intended.
And basically, Paul Cornell gaslighted this guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Cornell's wrong.
Oh, shit.
You all right?
Yeah, I just stuck my computer in the ceiling fan. I'm trying to sneak across the room to get some more.
Wow, this is so professional.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Doctor Who gives a fuck. The mark of professionalism in podcasting.
This is
like we have.
I mean, if you're podcasting without fucking vodka, that's your.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready to resume.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good.